On July 23, 2023, the second of two programs on the history of the Rancheros and Phantom Revival Drum and Bugle Corps was given in the Nunda Museum by Ray Feller of Seattle, Washington. Ray was joined by Corps alumni in the audience and on Zoom. We hope you enjoy the program.
Okay, well, last time we kind of tried to trace the history of the Rancheros, which was started in the late 50s. And we showed this 1962 photo on the left of the Corps practicing upstairs in the town hall building. That was the 1962 photo. And the next photo is in 63 to the right. And that photo was taken behind the school before they converted that parking lot to a new building. And that was the first year that we won New York State Fireman's Championship trophy in 63. And that was in, I think, Niagara Falls. And then 64, the Corps also won the New York State title down in Long Island. And then I had left the area, and so I don't know what happened to the Rancheros beyond 64, 65, and the end of the 60s. But in 71, Mike Beardsley and I tried to reorganize the Corps, and we started out as an all, before it was an all-male Corps, and now it was both male and female Corps. So I was working with the Corps, and then we took Western New York State titles in 71, and 72 in 72 they took New York State Western New York State trophy, and things were going well for 73. But then I was banned from participating by the firemen, and so in 74 I decided to start a new Corps up in the Dalton area. We got sponsored by the Dalton American Legion up there, and this photo was taken of us the first year in 1974, and we captured the Western New York State Parade title again. So the Corps was on its way. In 75, the Corps took its first state title, and I think Niagara Falls again. In 76, they did the same, and that was over by Syracuse. And in 77, they did the same. They took state title down in Binghamton, New York. Anyhow, those were the 4 good years of the Phantom Revival up in Dalton. And that picture was the only group picture that we had taken of the Corps, as I remember. And but it shows the uniforms. We wore black predominantly with a gold yellow color, and we played some good music, and we had good horns to work on and stuff like that. So anyway, that's what led into what's going to follow, I guess, is that Corps merged with the Dansville White Sabres to start a field corps in 1978, and they played on the field, performed on the field as the New Horizon. They wore orange and black, and they had some good seasons in the association, the Red Carpet Association they were in, and they played again in 79. But I guess after that they kind of disbanded, so both corps in the area kind of petered out until the Dansville White Sabres, I think, resurged and started up a Corps in the late 80s and stuff like that. But anyhow, that's another story. But anyhow, there wasn't a Corps in the Nunda Dalton area all this time, and I wanted to give a brief history of how that got going, and that's later on in the program. So if you're ready, Tom, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Let me briefly just read what I wrote, and I was going to use it as an intro or an explanation of how the Alumni Corps got organized and why. So back in the winter of 2007, I started contemplating the idea of wanting to see what the interest was for organizing a reunion of members who had performed over the years with either or both the Rancheros or the Phantom Revival Drum and Bugle Corps, and to form an alumni corps for performing at Nunda's Bicentennial Parade in the summer of 2008. After contacting several former members about the idea through emails and telephone calls, I thought such a venture might be possible. And since I also had custody of a set of nearly 30 silver plated 2-valve piston bugles, bugles are horns in the key of G, I decided to rent a van and transport them across the country during the last week of May 2008. And once I got back there, or I'm sorry, I also loaded up some boxes of about 50 gaucho hats that I had and many cummerbund sashes to maybe use as part of a uniform. So then when I got back there on June 1st, 2008, we had an organizational meeting at the Nunda Firemen's Meeting Room. And later, we had an initial rehearsal of horns at Nunda's American Legion Hall. And we kind of issued out horns and built from there. I had to return to Seattle, but Carl Essler started a once-a-week rehearsal schedule during the month of June and into July. Most of the horn players had not played a horn for many years, let alone the 2-piston bugles before. And when it became apparent to many of them that they could, in fact, revive their old skills, they in turn insisted that others follow suit. Also, Carl arranged for a free loan of drums and color guard equipment from Dick Hoppy at Cadence Music Store located up in Rochester. It's still there. As the size of the corps, the alumni corps, increased in numbers in all sections, rehearsals were taking place at the Dalton School Bus Garage, which also allow for outside marching practicing as well. Larry Twomley, Dave Powers, and Jim Lisickle organized the percussion section, and Joe DePasquale, Roxanne Underwood, and Lori Pearson coordinated the color guard section. So then on July 12th, 2008, the Rancheros Alumni Drum and Bugle Corps made a one-time appearance and performance at Nunda's Bicentennial Parade. And we were the only musical unit in the parade. The horn and drum sections wore long sleeve white dress shirts, black slacks, black gaucho hats, black shoes, and red cummerbund sashes. The all-female color guard sported similar uniforms, and the 10 banner members carried yellow gold colored flags reminiscent of the Phantom Revival. The music played that day was an abbreviated arrangement of Black Saddle, a tune used by both Rancheros and Phantom Revival during the 1970s, with an appended flourish of a Spanish introduction of Espani Cani and Call to the Bull. 19 horns had a nice blended sound composed of soprano, flugelhorn, mellophone, bass baritone, and contrabass bugles. And the drum line included 6 snare drums, 2 tenor drums, 3 bass drums, and a timbali drum with a cowbell. Evan Heindrich, a former Ranchero drum major, led the corps that day, and he enlisted 2 of his granddaughters to carry a Nunda Rancheros banner in front of the corps. And as you saw from the visual, 3 Ranchero alumni followed up the corps carrying some of the old first place New York State trophies. And 3 alumni followed up the corps carrying, I wanted to say that 3 Ranchero alumni followed up the corps carrying some of the old first place New York State trophies. I'm sorry, I repeated. Also, I'd like to add that in 3 instances, alumni musicians were accompanied by their older children, also playing instruments. That was Bruce Thompson and his daughter. Rick and Connie Hamilton had 2 daughters in the corps playing horns, and I think Mike Galton's son, Mike Galton's son played in the drum line. So the response of the crowd all along the parade route that day was overwhelming. Yeah, well, we're gonna first show, I guess, a bunch of still photos, colored photos of July 12th, 2008. That was the date of the Bicentennial Parade. So the Corps had been practicing for about a month. And so this was the big day. We came out with the uniforms we were going to wear. And that's just a shot of me. We were behind the school before the parade, and I was kind of going over a warm-up exercise. So you
Hotter
can
than
go,
hell that day.
yeah, it was one of the hottest days of the year at that time. It was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Anyhow, there's another shot of us warming up the horn line. It looked pretty good. And that's a shot of Evan Heinrich. He was the drum major, and we were playing through our medley of songs that we performed that day. And that's a shot of us. We had 19 horns, and drum lines in the background.
I will say that Mrs. Heinrich, she couldn't come here today, but she just dropped off and donated her husband's uniform that he,
Well,
and
that's
that's
great.
the one he wore back in the Corps. He's still fitting it for the Bicentennial Day. So we
Yeah.
it's actually out on display. Out in
Well, that's cool. Yeah, Evan passed away, so I'm glad that she did that. She was a Beardsley girl, and she married Evan. Evan was from Perry, I think. Okay, that's a shot of the drumline warming up in the corner while we were working in the horn line, getting them ready. That's Larry Twomley. He was kind of the instructor, main instructor. Okay. And that was a picture of us. They wanted to get a group picture, and someone took this. I think Gary Thompson or maybe my sister-in-law took that picture. And that was a picture of us with the gaucho hats on. And you can see it was a nice day, and it was a nice shot. We'll talk about that later. And the next shot, there was a reporter there covering the parade. His name was Howard Appel. He wrote for the Livingston County News. And I guess he took this professional shot of the Corps. We took the picture with the gaucho hats off so that people could recognize our faces, I guess. But anyhow, that shows the horn line, the drum line, and the color guard.
Now, Ray has sent us a list of everyone who performed that day in the group, and we have it out on the table, and then we're going to put this on our website along with all the names. So
yeah, I saw that. I already saw that on the Facebook website this morning that you posted that.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I tried to list all the names and stuff. So I hope I got everybody correct out there. So that was good. You did that, Tom.
Well, we'll probably hear if we left somebody out.
Yeah, sure.
That was the featured photo on film.
Yeah.
But it says here that the photo was by Michael Johnson, the Lincoln County.
Well, maybe it was.
Okay, he might have been assisting Howard.
Howard did most of the writing, and he usually had somebody with him. So Howard was probably responsible for it, and Michael was the camera guy for the day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that he was there, but that's good. Sounds like they're pretty professionally organized.
Okay.
Okay, next shot. We decided to have the Corps single line beat up through the center of town to the beginning of the parade. This is a customary thing the Rancheros used to do back in the day, as well as the Phantom Revival. The idea was you went to the parade site and you parked at the end of the parade, then you single line to the beginning of the parade so that people could see you, for PR. And then when the parade was over, you were at the end of the parade. Then everybody was there by their cars and stuff. And they could get out of the uniforms and then go over to the parade grounds and party afterwards. So anyhow, we tried to continue that tradition, and we single lined up through town. That's a shot of the color guard was first, and then the drum line, and I wanted to show the picture of the horn line. We had 19 horns that day. There's another shot with more of the horns in line. Maybe some people can recognize themselves. Okay, then when we got to the beginning of the parade, which is down on Walnut Street, near the Dowling, the old Dowling house. So I remember we practiced, we did a one-time go through of the music and stuff, and that's Evan directing us in the horn line and the drum line. And so we just did our last go through before the parade started. So then the parade started. And that's us, I guess, coming up through East Street. Someone had snapped this picture of the Corps coming down the street. I think that was kind of opposite the library area of town. There's another shot, mostly of the American flag and the guard, the guard of the flag, and the two girls carrying the Ranchero banner, and the color guard behind them, and then the horn line, and then the drum line.
Mrs. Heinrich brought us that banner that was used that day, and it's
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's the one that the Rancheros used in the 70s. So I'm glad that they had kept that and had it available. There's a close-up view of the horn line mostly, and some of the girls in the guard. And there's a shot taken uptown. That's normally where the parade review area would have been for a parade and stuff. So of course we played a number through that area, and someone took this picture. I think it might have been Gary Thompson. And that's a picture that appeared on the DVD that was made to document the whole parade. And I have that DVD, and I think you're going to show a clip of that. But that was a picture that appeared on the copy of the DVD that I got. And he had, the owner of that photo store took this great picture of the front soprano line and the horns behind them. It's really a great shot. It shows the color and how straight the lines were, and everybody had looked really well that day.
Now, what we're going to do is we have a clip that is off of YouTube. This isn't our clip that we're going to play here that was taken that day as they came into the square. Now, it's going to be a little jumpy, and we hope we've done it so that the people on Zoom can hear the music also. We are when we're done with the program, we're going to play this, God willing, on the TV for you so that you can watch it. It's about 15 minutes. It's got some old clips and things on it. So we'll do that. So are you ready, Ray, to go ahead with this?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, let's give it a try.
Really should have brought my glasses.
yeah. So then after the parade kind of ended at the school grounds, and the Corps went on to the front yard of the school, high school, and we kind of were at Parade West, and we were under shade and stuff like that because again it was a pretty hot day. And then I guess someone someone talked, and Carl also had written a little brief story to tell. So we were all listening to that, and then afterwards they asked us to play a song, which we did. This was before that, and then someone took these candid shots of some members as we were at Parade Rest, some of the horn line, and that third picture shows the baritone line, and soprano line, the bottom right, and the top two. Yeah. Okay. Then a picture of the drum line. I saw the top left photo. That's Jim Van Sickle. And I thought at first he was drinking a beer, which, that you shouldn't have been done that. But Tom told me it was really a water bottle that he was using. But I know Jim liked his beer. But fortunately, he didn't drink a beer that day in front of everybody. That's a no-no for Corps. Anyhow, that's a nice shot of the drum line. And that's a picture that someone took of us performing our number. It was a medley of three songs, and I'll talk about that later. But we got a rousing round of applause from everybody when we completed it. And then I think the ceremony disbanded after that, and everybody we went afterwards to a party up at Jim Burns's house at the time, up by Barber Lee Golf Course. We had a potluck barbecue up there, and everybody just had a good time celebrating that we pulled this thing off, really. And it was such a nice day, and it's just something that went into history. Glad to be a part of it.
Now, at this point, what we'd like to do is the people both here with us today and the people who are up, who are on Zoom, you can turn on your cameras if you'd like, and also your video or your audio, and you can share some memories that you have, either of being in one of the Drum and Bugle Corps or the day of the Bicentennial Parade. So go ahead, folks. If you're on Zoom, you can turn your audio and cameras on if you'd like, and we'll all share. Someone in here want to start out? What do you remember of that day, Ron?
Of this here?
Oh, yeah, of if the parade or something your favorite memory from back and being in the Corps.
Huh?
When did you join in the Corps?
The Rancheros?
Yeah.
The fall of '63. And just didn't know a damn thing about playing horn or anything, but my brother Dave was already in the drum line, Rancheros, so I joined, and great moment was '64 when we went to Hempstead. And what trophy did we win, Tom?
It was a state.
Was it the Mayor's Trophy or the Grand Marshal's Trophy?
It was a state fireman's, volunteer fireman's senior parade trophy.
Okay.
That was the one we won in '63 as well. So the Corps defended itself in '64, and it happened to be down on Long Island. And I guess they went down on a bus and spent a few days down there, and it was a very memorable occasion, I guess, for those that attended. I wasn't there in attendance. I was going to college out in Indiana during the summer, so I wasn't there home to do that.
Kid playing third soprano at the time, happier than that was what an experience for a kid. I've got a photo here with the mayor at the night. The there, and it just says that the winners of the best fireman's drum and bugle for the state of New York. Seems like when Dick came back with that trophy, we got all of our horns and the drums on. I think we put a concert on that night.
I marched in from Bill's restaurant. We got off the bus and marched in
Yeah, but
that night or the next day. I can't-
well, that Saturday night down there,
Yeah, oh,
Dick says, grab your instruments, we're putting a concert on right down there.
oh my. We had to
Yeah,
get
that's-
that home. We didn't hang around that little time.
But you guys got a big reception when you got back here, didn't you, Ron?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we marched into town, and
Yeah,
got off the bus and everything, got our instruments and marched into town.
I got to stay up past my curfew that night.
Yeah.
There we go. To hell.
The Keshequa School Board ought to see this. This is what John Dakin produced. What's produced now? Oh, nothing.
All right,
There isn't a one note of music in any of the group.
that,
How about someone else who played, either from Zoom or in the audience, who remember these days?
We also have the New Horizon drum corps after dinner.
New Horizons?
yeah, that was afterwards.
Yeah, that was the corps that the Phantom Revival, a parade corps, and Danceville White Sabres, a parade corps. They joined, they merged, and they wanted to become a field corps to compete in the senior divisions. And so they started up that corps. It's called the New Horizon, and they, as I said, they wore orange tops and black, and I think they had a black Aussie hat. But they played a field show, 10 to 13 minute field show, which was a big effort. So, and I guess they did good the first year in '78 and '79, but then they disbanded, I guess, and so there weren't any parade corps in the area anymore until later in the '80s or '90s. Dansville reorganized, I guess. That's my history that I remember.
Were you in the New Horizon?
No, Carl Essler was.
Well,
And-
and what's your name? I don't know if they can see, how well they can see us.
Lori Pearson, Lori Haight.
Okay,
I was in all three of them too.
okay. Any more? Any of the folks on Zoom want to share some of their memories?
Yeah, that was great getting back together. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I commented before, it was hotter than hell. I was soaked to my underwear after that, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Cool emotionally.
Yes.
As you notice in that the video, there were some young boys. I didn't realize that, but they were carrying water bottles along the route to revive us. And as I finished uptown, past the town square, I kind of got out of the line. The heat was getting to me, and someone was there to give me a water bottle, which helped me cool off and stuff. And then I rejoined the corps when they were lined up in front of the school, and we played in the shade. So it was really a hot day, but it didn't rain or anything like that. So we got to be thankful for that.
I got a picture of me and Dave in our uniforms. I keep that forever.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but Dave passed away a couple years later, as well as Evan Heinrich. And in that photo, several people passed away. Jim Vizickle in the drum line,
Rick Hammond.
Brant in the drum line also passed away, and Rick Hamilton passed away. And it's sorry to see, that was 15 years, since 15 years ago.
I don't know where
But-
that 15 years went. Unbelievable.
You want to say a few things about this, Ray?
Oh, yeah. See, I'm coming back there for my 60th high school class reunion next month. I'm flying back on August 5th for that. And while I was back there, I wanted to find out kind of what the interest is like in today's program, and those in attendance and spreading the word and stuff, what their interest might be in starting up a brass choir, I call it. And it would be just composed of horns. And we could do indoor rehearsals and use music stands, because most of us can't march parades anymore. And it'd be easy to perform as a brass choir and perform sitting down, reading sheet music, so people don't have to memorize and all that. We could play a couple of tunes and increase the repertoire and put on some indoor winter concerts perhaps and stuff. And anyway, I presented this this photo. It's a photo of the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps. They still use G bugles. They have 3-valve bugles, but they're still G bugles. And this photo kind of shows they had 8 sopranos standing up in the back. They had 4 bass baritones sitting down, and 3 mellophones playing the middle voice ahead of them. And they had 2 contrabasses. We only need 1. And they also had a guy in the percussion line keeping cadence and presenting some background percussion music. We wouldn't have to do that initially, but we could if someone had a drum set and wanted to join us. But it was a nice setting. They've got these stands, like they sort of look like a stage band, and you know, it's a good idea. So while I'm back there, and I'll talk more with Ron Powers, see if we can maybe have a meeting in the week of August 6th and at the American Legion, and maybe discuss it, and if people want to do it, we can start it going. I'll be back there 10 days, so I'm available, and to see what the interest would be. So that was my plug. The horns are still back there, so it seems a waste to have them sitting collecting dust, not being used when this, you know, it would sort of be like a community organization and something that the town could do. And we could play standstills, and they could even start a parade unit for performing at the Nunda Fun Days, you know, and or even the Corps could do a standstill and memorize a couple of tunes and play it that way. So anyhow, the possibilities are there.
Hi, this is Carl Lester. Can I throw in a comment?
Sure.
I just wanted to note, you know, the most important thing oftentimes is not the day of the event. It's what leads up to it. And I think that was the most important for us with this bicentennial. Because I was down there for the rehearsals, and there we were, people in many cases who hadn't had a mouthpiece to their lips in over 30 years. And yet they worked their tails off to be ready and able to play. And the same with the drum line, and the same with the color guard. That to me was just the most incredible part of what we accomplished. And the other thing was that my biggest memory is not the day of the parade. It was the day that we'd had a couple of rehearsals up at the transportation department, or whatever it was, Dalton thing.
Bus garage.
Bus garage, thank you. And we decided, okay, now it's time to go out and actually march for the first time around the building. And oh my gosh, we did it. I mean, it worked. And I don't think any of us necessarily thought it was going to. And that was just such a turning point that got us, I think, all moving forward again. And I mean, the parade was a great experience as well. But as I said, it's that background part that allows that to happen that I think is the most important. And of course, all credit to Ray for having been the guy with the idea in the first place for this, and nudging us all to make sure we went forward with it. Thanks.
Yeah, great, Carl. Thanks.
I took a lot of videos of that initial marching around the garage.
Do you still have those videos?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you should share. We'd love to see them. That would be great.
Well, I'd have to figure out how to do that.
Now, just to clarify things, I did a little research, and they wanted a paper written for the Historical Society, which I did. And I found that the original year the Corps was founded was 1955. And I was thinking 58, 57 maybe. And I've got a picture here, and I didn't have a date to put on it, but the original ones I joined, I was still in college, but I marched through the summer. We had Dick Essler, Russ Mondana isn't in here, I don't know why he missed the photo, but he certainly. Jerem Sanford, David Hurd, myself, Jim Merritt, Tommy Stamp, Dick Beardsley, Dean Mountain, Ronnie Chasey, and Paul Westergaard. Now, they were the original, and we didn't have any uniforms, we used black pants, white shirt, black tie, and the old fireman's number 4 white hat. And that was our uniform for, I think, 2 or 3 years. Now, another interesting note, we participated in a lot of indoor. We went to Willisville. White Sabres had one in Danville, we had one. But anyway, it lists the music that we played. And I'll just read them off here. Our repertoire was really good. Where or when, that was the original setting. The Patriotic Melody, The Lonely Bow. Now that put us more into our uniform mode, I always thought. And then tonight, I've forgotten this, was a solo by Ted Saunders, Bruce Boohanger, Dave Powers, and Jim Sickle. Of course, they were on the drums. Then Everything's Coming Up Roses, Lady of Spain. That was good. That put us another Spanish mode to it. And this could be the start of something big. And I think we're working on Melody Wayne. Never got it. Sandy Montana did a writing of the pieces. So, yeah, that's one good.
Hey, Tom,
Maybe that was it.
That was the longest one.
Yeah.
Tom,
You want to take a copy of something?
hey, can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I think I have bragging rights because 3 of my brothers were in the Rancheros. My brother Tom was in from 63 to 67. My brother Brent.
Hey there, how we doing, guys? Hi, Terry.
And my brother Terry, and I'm Darcel Cole. And we're all in Austin, Texas, the 3 of us. So hopefully it's cooler up there. But I thoroughly have enjoyed this.
Yeah, is Nick your brother also?
Kevin,
Oh, who's Nick Cole related to? Yeah, Nick Cole.
and not relation to us.
Okay, well, he played contrabass in 1971. And I just figured he was related to Tom and
No. Played the French horn. Did you play the French horn, Tom?
No, he played soprano.
Did it?
Brett played French horn.
Oh, okay.
Him, Brett Lowell, and you.
Yeah.
Brent played French horn.
well, good.
Tom played the bugle.
We just had one valve back then.
Yeah, I know.
Then they went to the mellophone with the tube, so
Yeah,
that was fun.
it was.
Oh, yeah, you guys, it was awesome being back together, I'll tell you. A lot of fun.
A lot of hard work.
Okay. And thank you everyone for joining us. And again, Ray, thanks for your work in putting this together.
Sure thing. I enjoyed it.
We hope you enjoyed the second program on the history of the Nunda Rancheros and Phantom Revival Drum and Bugle Corps. The Nunda Historical Society thanks all the Corps alumni and their families who brought their memories and memorabilia to share. Special thanks to Ray Feller for presenting the two programs. Be sure to watch part 1 of this program found on our YouTube channel, Nunda History.